I need to speak with you. Meet me in your office right away.
I'd love to, Francis, but I have to debrief Sarif first.
I suppose you could, or you could hear what I have to say and see if that doesn't change things. Pritchard out.
We need everyone on high alert. It's not only the pro-Augs who might want to get a Taggart, but the ones against them too.
You're saying that pro-human activists might see this visit as treachery?
I'm just saying anything is possible.
Respect, Mr. Cannon. I can't believe we're letting that arrogant bastard Taggart around our building.
Just something about Taggart that I found.
He's a bigot.
What do you want?
As much as I hate to admit it, I need your help. That signal you shut down in DRB territory. It's been active for almost a year.
You're telling me someone outside this company has had access to our network since before the first attack?
I've detected intrusions before and shut them down swiftly every time. But whoever designed this particular algorithm is good. Very good.
You've told Sarif?
See, here's the thing. The intrusions were possible because of a backdoor access into our security system that I never even knew existed.
The one Sanders' team used to get inside our plant.
I've worked here for 7 years, Jensen, and this is the first time I've seen that particular access route. David Sarif created it specifically to bypass the firewall. He's hiding something, and I think you should find out what it is.
Why me?
Because, as far as I can tell, Sarif created that access and was streaming a lot of data through it shortly after your ex-girlfriend suggested he hire you. Don't you have some investigating to do?
Excuse me.
Mr. Jensen, isn't it?
Sir, you have that charity dinner?
In a moment, Isaiah. I was hoping I might run into you, Mr. Jensen. Bill Taggart.
The founder of the Humanity Front. I know who you are.
Yes. Yes, I imagine you do. As David Sarif's top security man, I imagine you have quite the file on me. But I assure you, Mr. Jensen, I am devastated by recent events.
Really?
I do not support what you and your company are doing to mankind. I believe it's extremely dangerous. But abolishing human enhancement technologies will only be achieved through legal means.
I'll keep that in mind.
This is your first day back since the accident 6 months ago, isn't it?
Sir, we have to go.
What happened to me was no accident.
Ah, my mistake. But it must have been stressful facing down a second incident so soon. I imagine it brought back all kinds of unpleasant memories.
I appreciate your concern, Mr. Taggart, but it was nothing I couldn't handle.
I'm a psychologist, Mr. Jensen. I know when a man is hiding behind words. The flesh may heal, but the mind is not always so resilient. You might want to keep that in mind. Now, if you'll be so kind as to excuse me.
Gladly. Boss, we need to talk.
Is something wrong?
I'm not sure. Did you set up a private access route to bypass the company firewall right before you hired me?
What?
Pritchard said someone's been using it to access our system since before the first attack. The security measures he and I set in place never stopped them because we didn't even know the loophole existed.
Ah, I see. Frank's fixed that, though, right?
He has now. But he's wondering why you never mentioned it.
Frank's paranoid, Adam. You know that. Can a busy man forget things once in a while?
You streamed an awful lot of data through that portal, boss. Right before you brought me on board. Preacher may be paranoid, but I gotta admit, I'm wondering what was in it too.
Yeah, as an ex-cop, I guess you would. But the important thing is you found the hole and plugged it. We're secure now. And the information you uncovered in that FEMA facility may actually help us track these guys. So let's just stay focused on what's important.
Of course, you're right. And maybe Pritchard's paranoia is rubbing off on me. It's just that the timing seems so strange, right before you hired me. Don't you think it might be more than a coincidence?
I guess I can see why you'd think that, given everything you've been through recently. But you can't expect me to tell you every detail of this company's operations every single day. We're at war here, and it's your job to protect us from enemies who try to take us down. You should have found that loophole without my having to tell you about it. You know, Frank wanted me to hire experts, an outside security firm to protect us, but you convinced me you could do it. Are you saying you were wrong?
Whoa, don't get me wrong, boss. I'm not questioning your leadership. I'm just concerned that the data you streamed might have been compromised, accessed by the hacker who attacked us. If so, how do you suggest I handle it?
By focusing on what matters right now, instead of dwelling on my past mistakes. Everything I've done has been to secure a future here for you, me, Frank, and everyone else in this team. I'm constantly looking for strong people to help me do that. The very best people I can find. Because if I don't, Sarif Industries will fall. Megan understood that. That's why she insisted I hire you in the first place.
With all due respect, sir, I am trying to do my job. The job you hired me to do. The job you even brought me back in for tonight. But it feels like you're getting in the way. Especially when you start bringing Megan into this.
Calm down, Adam. There's no need to get defensive here. Doesn't do anyone any good. Megan was a valuable asset, Adam, in more ways than one. If she pointed me in a direction, I followed up on it. Now, if the data I stream goes public, it's likely to get embarrassing, but that's all. And it's the kind of embarrassment the shareholders pay me to deal with. So I don't need you wasting your time getting sidetracked. You understand?
I would like nothing better than to trust you with this, boss. But trust is a two-way street, and the way you've handled this entire conversation so far makes me think that it's you who isn't trusting me. Why, boss? What is it you're so afraid to tell me?
I'm not afraid to tell you anything, Adam. But neither will I be treated like some two-bit suspect you've just hauled in off the street. You're not a cop anymore. You work for me. Try not to forget that. Are we done here? Because we still have to discuss our next move. Here, this is for you. It's a corporate passport encoded with your biometrics. I've set up a false flag routing which should get you to Henshaw Island without any problems.
You're sending me to China? What about FEMA?
FEMA's got nothing to do with this, trust me. We'll have better luck in China.
How can you say that? I saw the bastard who killed Megan pulling his men out of that facility. I left one of those men dead in its underground storage bay.
I know that, Adam. Frank was monitoring the whole thing. So I also know that before he died, that man gave you an address in China. I want you to check it out.
That doesn't make any sense.
Look, Adam. There's a reason this company's under attack. You think it has to do with the typhoon or with some other top-secret military project that I haven't told you about?
The thought had crossed my mind.
Yeah, well, it doesn't. The work Megan's team was doing before they were killed, it was redefining what it means to be human. This company, Sarif Industries, was about to lead mankind to its next stage in human development. Self-controlled evolution. Can't you see how scary that can be to some people?
Sure. I also see how lucrative it can be for some others.
It's never been about money for me, Adam. But you're right. There are people out there who don't exactly feel the same.
Like who?
I'm hoping you'll be able to find that answer for us in China. So get going. Farida's prepping the chopper. You have your orders, Adam. Meet Farida at the helipad as soon as you're ready to leave.
Get this, boss. William Taggart was here. Might still be here. I guess he met with Mr. Sarif about something. Surprised I didn't hear that.
Saying he didn't have time for staff reports. I've never seen Frank this stressed out about something.
I'd ask how it went with Sarif, but I recognize that look. He stonewalled you, didn't he?
Yeah, he wasn't forthcoming, that's for sure.
Well, well, well. Looks like we finally have something in common, Jensen. We've both been shut out of the Ivory Tower. But don't worry. You get over it.
Just how much information was Sarif sending out of this company?
First of all, he was bringing it in, not sending it out. And if you're about to ask me to magically summon it out of the ether for you, forget it. I've been at this company long enough to know you don't go head-to-head with the boss.
And yet you just sent me to do that very thing.
That's because in my book, you're expendable.
Accompanying Mr. Taggart to the charity dinner tonight.
This sighting comes barely 3 days after VersaLife CEO Bob Page was also
Does Mr. Taggart know this, sir?
Of course he does. I would not be leaving if it were not a medical emergency.
Of course, I understand. I can't imagine what it must be like to willingly give up an implanted limb.
Please, make sure Mr. Taggart is up to date itinerary-wise, and I will rendezvous with you later this week.
Understood, sir.
You're Taggart's aide, aren't you? Dr. Isaiah Sandoval, isn't it?
No need to play ignorant, Mr. Jensen. I am quite sure you have a file on me that's as thick as the one you have on Mr. Taggart.
You're an outspoken activist in your own right, Dr. Sandoval.
When you have seen the things that I have, you find you have no choice but to stand up and be counted. Frankly, I am surprised an ex-cop like yourself isn't more disturbed by the dangers of this technology.
Augmentations help a lot of people, Doc. Handicapped, war vets.
Yes, but at what cost? My own friend had his life ruined by these so-called enhancements of yours. A man much like you who had no choice but to become augmented. Yet once he was... Too much power can make you do terrible things, Mr. Jensen. I suggest you think long and hard on that.
I'd like to hear more about your friend, Dr. Sandoval. What exactly did he do?
Nothing.
Was he injured in the Gulf?
He went on a rampage in a shopping mall, if you must know. Hoping to be gunned down by the police, rather than face a lifetime battling augmentation addiction.
He was addicted to augments?
They don't talk about it in those corporate brochures of yours, do they? Neuroposine dependency, rejection psychosis, any number of physical and psychological ills have resulted from this technology, and yet we rarely hear a word about them.
I'm sure the literature is out there.
No thanks to the throng of corporate lawyers attempting to stop it.
Your friend, did he succeed? Did he suicide by cop?
No. Bill Taggart talked him down.
Just doing my job here, sir. I'm sure you can appreciate that.
Retired millionaire Hugh.
I am sure you are very busy, Mr. Jensen, as are Mr. Taggart and I.
Hey, Jensen. The boss said you were on your way. You're gonna love Hangsha.
You've been there?
Used to live there. I spent 3, maybe 4 years working in the upper city, and most of my nights having fun in the lower one. You ready to go?
I thought I was. How long is this gonna take, Malik?
You mean the flight or the fun afterward? Don't worry, we'll be there before you know it. Climb in.